Hi, I'm Mitch, and this is a FreeCAD tutorial on Workbench, Toolbars, and Panels menus in FreeCAD. So when I first downloaded FreeCAD and opened it up for the first time, this is what it looked like. I wanted to create a new part, so I went to Create New, and this is what I saw. Essentially nothing that I could use to get started. And that's because I had not yet selected the correct workbench. So to go to a workbench, you would come up here in the View menu and come on down here. And these are the three things that I'm going to show you today. Workbench, toolbars, and panels. So we'll start with Workbench, and I want to start a new part. So I'm going to go to Part Design, and this is what most people are probably going to want to start with. And so I choose a part design, and we're waiting for it to load. And this loaded a bunch of new toolbars up here, and that's great. If it hadn't done that, then you would come here to the View menu and come down to Toolbars, and you can see that it loaded the Part Design Helper, the Part Design Modeling, and the Measure toolbars. That may not happen for you, so you just need to choose them. I also want all of these other ones, so I'm just going to hover over them and click on them. Now you can see that I can open and save files without having to go to the File menu. I'm going to open up the Workbench, and this is very useful. So now I don't need to go to View to switch between workbenches. I can just do it here. And I'm going to open up the rest of these toolbars. We can record macros. This snap to view toolbar is very useful when we actually start making parts. And we're going to start the structure toolbar. So now I have all of my toolbars available to me, but I still don't have any of my planes that I'd like to use to draw on. And to get those, at least in the part design, we come up here to create new sketch, and that populates my three planes, my XY, my XZ, and my YZ planes. And I can toggle around these views with this over here, but that doesn't really get me to a specific plane. You know, I'd like one orthogonal to me, so I can snap to those plane views here in my views toolbar. And if I want to select the plane that I want to draw on, say the XY plane, I can either hover over it and click on it and hit OK, or I can select it here and hit OK. And then it'll snap me to here. Notice that it put me now into the Sketcher workbench, and that's okay. Some of my tools may have changed. You want to come back up here, and if you want more toolbars, you'll notice that this toolbars menu changes based on which workbench you're in, and so there may be more tools that you need that you can choose. Notice that I just chose a Sketcher toolbar tool, and this is more or less already full. So now you can see these two little arrows, and that tells me that there's more to that than what it's showing. And same here, there's way more to that toolbar menu than what it's showing, just because it's already used up all its space. The last thing I'm going to show you here is in the panels menu. You can see that it defaults to the combo view there, and that's just showing that we have the model and taskbar in this view here. So we can also view the report view. So if we had any um, if we had any error messages or anything, that might come down here in the report view. If you want to use Python to do some custom programming, the Python console is there. And then there's also this selection view. I don't really like all of these open, so we can just cancel out all of those and come back to this is the view that I prefer. And now you're ready to start drawing. You could take a line here, snap to the grid, and start drawing it, and so on. Note that I can always get back to my to get rid of this and get back to my cursor. I'm going to right click here, and then notice that to get back to my start page, I can always just come down here. Here is my new file. Here is my start page, and if I wanted to get to open up something else, I could open it up from there. And that's all we have.